How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. I wanted to come with a little update on NAT today because on Friday they did have some news, and over the last week they've been so volatile. I've wanted to keep up with them because a lot of my audience has found me through NAT videos. So hopefully I keep on growing in other ways and people find me through other videos. But I really want to reward all those people with the content that they want to see. And I just want to thank you too for the video that I had yesterday, which is about all the different YouTubers. You know, there are lots of strong opinions because we love finance YouTubers. We love learning about finance. So it was cool to see so many people comment. I think about 10% of the people that watched the video actually commented. So if I had that on some of these NAT videos, that'd be amazing. If we ever have that, that would be 700 likes or 700 comments. So if we can hit 500 likes, that'd be amazing. If we can hit like 300 comments, that'd be amazing. Please comment below. It really helps out the channel, and hit the like button. Thank you for everyone that's subscribing too. I know 83% of the people that are watching this still aren't subscribed, so please hit subscribe, especially if you've seen these videos a couple times. I'll continue to make them as long as NAT is relevant and I feel like there's something I want to talk about, so please hit subscribe. And before we get into it too, if you don't mind looking down there, if you haven't signed up for WeBull and you want some free stocks, you can get 2 free stocks worth up to $1,400 for just depositing $100. It's really quick, and like I said, you could get up to $2,800. So I appreciate it, and I'll let you get back to it. Over the last week, we've had a lot of fluctuation in the stock, just going up and down. We were down at about $4.38 about a week and a few days ago, and then it shot up on Monday. And as you might know, I'm still bullish on this stock. This is still a stock that I am invested in and a stock that I'm going to hold for a while, I believe. But it went down a couple times this week, and a lot of people were wondering about it. And really, it was just that the market went down in general. There was some news with different oils and different tankers and stuff like that. So it went back up to about $4.88 by the end of the week. And this is something where a lot of people are wondering, should I get in? Should I get out? And I've made videos on what to do going forward, whether I will buy or sell or hold NAT. And I'll link them here, so check that video out after this one's done if you want. But there has been some new information. So Friday, if you don't know, NAT makes this tanker report, or puts this on their website every Friday. And what it shows is something that's not great for NAT. As you can see here, this is the spot market rate for their tankers, so how much they would make in one day, and this is in thousands. So last week they were down to about 20,000 a day. This last week we were down to about 14,000 a day, which it costs 8,000 just to be able to run these tankers. So that is a lot lower than what we've seen in the past. As you can see here, we're up to 55,000 over the year. So that's a huge increase still from last year, but this is kind of a scary number, and I hadn't been watching this stock enough to know last year, like in 2019, whether it went up and down a lot. Maybe it was up to 30 one week and then down to 10 a week or two later and then back and forth, and that's why it averaged out at 20, or maybe it was just consistently at 20, but that's something to take into consideration. Now, there are a lot of long-term contracts that NAT has had, and a lot of them are 1 to 6 months in time, and a lot of them were signed for huge numbers for costs like $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a day, and that was really back in April, but those contracts will go for a while here still. They've said this before, and a lot of YouTubers and other people in the comments are saying, well, they still have those long-term contracts. They're going to make more money this year than they have in a really long time, and especially in the last quarter, so Q2. But as you can see here, the rates are ticking down, and I wouldn't be surprised if we saw that maybe in the price on Monday. As you can see here, actually, I didn't see this before, but you can see here the fluctuation ticks up at the end of the year for the last 2 years and at the beginning of the year, and then dips down around these spring and summer months. So we could see another increase here towards the end. But that's just something to consider. Now, I will say there are a handful of different ways you can approach this. So I'm just going to go back and talk about each one and, what are your options going forward with this. So the first option is you could just sell the stock. So you could sell it at $4.88 or whatever it opens up on Monday, and you could get out whether you have lost a lot of money if you're at $6 a share, or whether you bought in at $4.20 and you're just going to take your 15% profit. Yeah, that's one option that you have. That's not one that I really like a lot of the time. Of course, if it's the best option, it's the best option, but I still think NAT's got places that they're going to go in the future. I think that they are nice for several different reasons, which I'll outline here. But the other option you have is to divest into other tanker stocks. So I've talked about this in a previous video. I'll show it here, but I have a couple different stocks that I own that are in the oil tanker space that aren't NAT. So one of them that I talk about in the video is STNG, which is an oil tanker that is about down 50 to 60% on the year. And I think that they're going to go and double their price in the next year or two. I think that they're a really good option, and they're cheaper relatively than NAT. So you could kind of divest and stay in the space, but then get away from North American Tanker. And what that does is some of these other tankers have actually ticked up. So like the VLCCs have actually gone up over the last week and are still huge on the year, still up a lot from last year. So you could do that. You could get into some of those other tankers and the companies that have those other tankers. So that's definitely an option for you. I'm not going to do that just because I already have money in those stocks. So I don't really feel the need to do that. The other thing you could do is to just hold on to this long term. So if we look at their website, they've paid a dividend to shareholders every quarter since they were opened or since they went public in 1997. And this is an option that I'm kind of leaning towards right now. So whether the stock price goes up or down, they've paid a lot of dividends in their past, and when they have good years, they just pay that out to their investors. They've paid 40, 50, 60 cent dividends, all kinds of different dividends in the past, and that is an option going forward. So you could do that. Now the other option is you could hold this kind of as a hedge. So you can use this to mix in with your portfolio. So if, let's say, the economy doesn't open, right? So if things don't get back to normal as quickly as possible, this might increase in price or in value pretty significantly, just because people think that this is the way to invest if we have to shut down the economy again. Also, if you hold some oil stocks, this is another way. They're kind of inversely related, not very closely, but they are inversely related. So one goes up, one goes down. So you could use that to hedge against the oil prices dropping again, just in case, let's say, one of those oil producing countries decides that they're going to increase production again, then you can have this, which will hopefully go up in price. The other thing you can do is to hold through the dividend. So a lot of these include holding for a little bit longer, but there are different reasons for it. So they declared on 5/20 that they were going to issue a payment or a dividend in late August, and you can hold through that. So we're supposed to get 20 cents in dividends, which is pretty significant. That's a good amount for this stock. So you can sit through there, just wait it out a little bit, and hopefully collect that nice dividend. The other thing you can do is to wait for the short squeeze. So if you don't know what short squeeze is, I've gone over in some of my past videos, so I'll just keep it short here. But enough people are betting that the stock is going to go down, that if it starts to go up, that they'll have to buy back in so they don't lose money. So that causes what's known as a short squeeze. And as you can see here, there are about 18 million shares that are shorted right now. So 18 million people think that the stock's going to go down. So if it starts to go up, they have to buy back in, and that increases to the pressure of the other people to buy back in, and that's going to cause it to shoot up. So that's what a lot of investors are looking for right now. They think this stock could double or triple or quadruple in the next couple of months. So that's another reason that you can try to hold on to the stock. Now, what I plan on doing is just what I said the other day. I'm just going to hold. I'm going to wait to see the next earnings report, try to get through the dividend date. Hopefully by then we have a little bit more guidance on what's going to happen in the economy and what's going to happen with our stock. So that's the option that I'm looking at right now. Of course, this is something that changes week to week, right? So this might be something where I decide that's not a good idea and I could try to sell out in the next couple weeks, but I'll keep you guys updated. One thing that I think is pretty encouraging, just looking at this chart, we started at a very high rate before any of this happened in the economy. So right at the end of 2019, this tanker market index was going up really quickly. And then it went and dropped down to about 25 again. But it shot back up As you can see here, we knew this, that shot back up. But this is all occurring in some of the slowest months of the year. So in a few months, let's say August or July, this starts ticking back up, and then we have another really good winter. Man, that's going to be insane, especially if we have to shut down again or everything comes back and more people are sick. If this happens again, this is going to be one of the first stocks that investors jump in, and it's giving me goosebumps just talking about it. But can you imagine if this happened again? If you have a small amount in your portfolio, it might be worth just sitting onto for that reason. If we see any of that happening again, I could see this doubling again or tripling or quadrupling because we've already seen that happen. But if this becomes a constant issue that we have to face, this could be quite amazing. So that is something that I'm just considering myself. And then also too, as you can see here, so far year to date, we are just about at the same tanker market index as 2008, which is amazing. We're at the highest numbers that we've seen in 12 years. And even if we drop down, we have a while to drop down before we get to 2015 numbers, which was one of the best years before this. So that's just something to consider. But I'd be interested in hearing what you guys are doing. What are you thinking about? Was this discouraging to you or was it encouraging to you after I pointed some of that out? Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Thanks for liking, subscribing, commenting, and going and signing up with WeBull if you don't have it already. Thanks, guys. Bye-bye.